Oh yeah, real big when I was in high school. Anyway, I mean, I think that Deep Purple was probably one of the loudest concerts I've ever been to growing up, or in nowadays. I mean, geez, I mean, it's like fly into the rising sun, faces smiling everyone. Yeah, and she's a whole new tradition. I feel it in my heart, my woman from Tokyo. She makes me see, and I see the red light is on, Andy. It's like you set me up, we're rolling live, we're rolling. Keep them doggies rolling, rawhide. I mean, geez. Live shows are so much fun sometimes, aren't they? Not. At least you didn't get me caught with my pants down. Oh, man. So, good morning. Yeah, good morning. A little Deep Purple. Yeah. It's Monday, August 19th. And it appears that the heat, Andy, is gonna stay away. It's gonna stay around, man. And I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, geez, it's just gonna stay around. It's been like, yesterday it was like 68, 69er in first thing in the morning. It was hot yesterday. And they're saying that this heat is going to stick around until what? Wednesday? We're going to get a reprieve for a couple of days. Yeah, for sure. Those dog days of August are hanging around. Dog days. Those dog days of August. How predictable was that wave, Andy? I mean, come on, man. If you didn't play it, people would be going like, wow. Geez, they didn't play the dog day wave, and, All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, let's give a big shout out and a big thank you to our weekly sponsor. Down there at the Great Falls Gazette. My prop this morning, we got the Wanted down here, and they got arrested in here too. They're getting a good job arresting them. We love having Great Falls Gazette as a sponsor. Still only $1. It's local stories, local reporting, local delivery, and I still have not made it on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Gonna buy my mother, gonna buy 5 copies for my mother, gonna see my smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh yeah. Oh no. Probably be when a Crime Stopper on the back page. Wanted for doing a bad podcast. Well, you can tell, Andy, can't you tell? Even though we got the heat wave, generally it's getting maybe a little bit cooler. I know that the days are getting longer. You can tell that we are in later August. I live over by CMR, and I noticed that the boys in Golden Green started the two-a-days. Two-a-days. Do you remember the two-a-days? Man, you get up early, You go work. We worked pads both days. I don't think they worked pads. I think they started like Friday or Thursday of last week, which would have put them like in Woodstock somewhere. Yeah, we posted about Woodstock. We did, last week's podcast, but they started in Friday or Thursday. They're doing their 2 days. I saw them over there Saturday. Yeah, I remember that. Good times. Yeah. I remember in my freshman and sophomore, hated 2 days. Yeah. Then after that, I just hated the athletics together. Let's do mescaline and go see Grateful Dead instead. My woman. Yeah, okay. So we're going to start today with is it our third actually? Because of the timing of our third annual football forecast. Fall football. It's the fall football forecast. Fall football forecast. You got that? The fall football forecast. It's our third annual. Why don't we just start out? I mentioned CMR doing their 2 days, Andy, down the street. I live over there by there, so around there. So why don't we start with Montana High School in the AA division, shall we? With our football, spectacular, I like Hell in the Capital. Bozeman. I like Glacier, of course. My dark horse. Oh, hell. Sentinel looks really good defensively, Missoula Sentinel. But is it enough to get over the top three on the, and it basically is Glacier, Bozeman, Hell in the Capital in that order. Would you agree, Andy, in that order, AA, Montana? Yeah, certainly. So, my Sentinel is my dark horse. Defense wins games. Next weekend, games are starting. So, that's my take on the AA. We're not going to do CB. If you want to comment on here and tell us your opinions of Class A, Class B, Class C, even we got 8-man in here in Montana. Yeah, we certainly do. But I like I said, in that order, AA for this year, I like Glacier, Bozeman, Hell in the Capital, with Missoula being the dark Missoula Sentinel, being your dark horse. Living in the dark horse. Yeah, right. Okay. The dark horse. Yep. I like Glacier to win it all. Okay. So, why don't we get into the NCAA and the changes and whatever all's going on. You got it up here. We got it over there. I've been reading up on it. I'll tell you, it's going to look a lot different this year than it has in the past. We went through the BCS, then we went through the playoff era, and now we got a whole new look. It's a whole new 12-team playoff. And not only is it that we have a 12-team playoff, but, there's 15 teams in the NCAA that changed, swapped the conferences, did this, did that. We're moving. Yeah, and it changed the landscape of the whole college football. You got NIL coming on there. They're paying people to play college football now. Super conferences. The NCAA will cease to exist. The super conferences are doing that. They're making sure that they're going to exactly, and they're going to have more juice than the NCAA. Period. So, 15 teams, Andy. I said, Well, the ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, it's got 17 schools now. Okay, they added Cal, SMU, Southern Methodist University, and Stanford. The Atlantic Coast Conference landed 2 teams from the Pacific Coast and a team from Texas. Okay, makes sense to me. The Big Ten. The Big Ten, it's not the Big Ten anymore. Back when I was getting the Big Ten had 10 teams, then they started moving teams in. The Big Ten has 18 teams. Yeah. The Big Ten has 18 teams. Well, they added Rutgers, they added Maryland, they added Penn State, they added Nebraska. That all, went from 10 to 14. And then you added the other 18. The Big Ten, heart of the Midwest, they added teams also from the Pacific Northwest. And they added USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington. Can you see? No doubt. We got USC coming to Happy Valley in November with a foot of snow. And it works the flip side, too, if you're a Midwest team and you're used to playing in that cold Midwest weather, all of a sudden, you're playing in the heat, humidity. The Big 12 now has 16 teams. Right, the Big 12 has 16 teams. Right, they added Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. Okay, but the Big 12 lost 2 teams. They lost Texas and Oklahoma, which moved to the SEC, which is the Southeastern Conference. Got that? Got your scorecard, Andy? Everybody got what's going on? You got people moving, got people there, people packing their bags, people checking out, people checking in. Take a flight, book a flight. Book it, Dano. The Big 12, now the SEC, all right, it's got 16 teams because it added Texas and Oklahoma. So, where does that leave, the Pac-12? Pac-12 has 2 teams. It's like Oregon State, Washington State. They don't know who they're playing yet. They don't want to play people. Like I said now earlier. So now you got all these super conferences. Okay, like I said earlier, now we got a 12-team playoff bracket. Okay, that's coming up this year, expanding from what was it's like 4 teams. Yes, last year we had Michigan. Go Blue! We had Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Alabama. Okay. This year. And we were arguing last year with 4 teams because Florida State, remember, Florida State was undefeated and they were left out. So we were arguing about that, going on and on and on about arguing about it. Okay? So now they got 12 teams in the playoffs. And now the argument will be like the NCAA. The NCAA tournament is what, 64 teams, and they play in 4, so it's 68 teams. And people are still arguing that teams should have got it. Well, they should have got it then, but they were out at brunch at the scoreboard, and they got the. So now the way the new playoff system works is this: there's a committee, like there's been for the playoffs the last how many years since the BCS was dissolved. The new and improved, the new and improved college playoff will include the 5 highest ranked conference champions which will get an automatic bid. So like the SEC, the Big 12, the ACC, the Big 10, and what is the other one? Get one more in, and that's not it's the MAC or somebody. Yeah, it's the MAC, is it? Yeah. Well, it's ranked, so whatever of the Power 5, okay? And then they'll receive an automatic bid, and then the remaining 7 highest ranked teams will get in, making it a total of 12. So if 5 conference champions all have a loss, but an independent like Notre Dame is undefeated, where does Notre Dame go? You're right, number 6. Exactly. They're not a conference champion. They've chosen to be in the pit. They've had numerous invites from the dang Big Ten. Made all the sense in the world for them. Either they played Purdue, they played Michigan, they played Michigan State, all the time. So, but no, they want to be. I want to be independent. So now you got 12 times. 12 times. Now, is it fair? Well, anybody who's watched the polls the last 2 or 3 years, it doesn't matter if it's fair or not. It's like it wasn't fair last year. Alabama got in at 12 and exactly they got in at 12-1, and Florida State was 13-0, and they were a conference champions, and they didn't give in. So biased, yeah. Nick Saban's last year, that's why they got in. That's exactly why they got in. Did they get spanked by Michigan? No. Did Michigan beat them? Yeah. Did Alabama expect it? They certainly did not. And you talk to Saban after the game, he's like, they didn't. Players, they all thought that was a cakewalk. And, of course, as you all know, Michigan went on to win the new national championship. Go Blue! All right. So, it's a long, long, long time. What? Oh, the 7 okay, Andy just asked me, what about if you have the 5 conference champions, who do I predict that would get in as the other 7? Why, it's the SEC and the Big 10, of course. Who else? Okay, maybe they'll squeeze a Big 12 in there, but maybe. You've watched the polls year after year after year. So, games are starting this coming Saturday, okay? So college football is here and upon us, all right? So, I'll give you my preseason. Should I go to just top 12? I don't want to do top 25, for crying out loud. They don't want me. We'll do the top 12. Top 12's all that matters. Okay, that's all that's getting in. All right, let's go. I got Georgia coming in first to start the season, number 1. I got Oregon, number 2. Ohio State, number 3. I got Texas, 4. Bama, 5. Mississippi, 6. Notre Dame, 7. Michigan, 8. Penn State, 9. Florida State, 10, Missouri coming in at 11, and my number 12 team is Clemson. Now, all this is going to change over the year, and we'll keep you an update. You can watch the polls, but I mean, all this changes over the year. It's just the preseason show. This is the football forecast. Right. This is the 3rd annual Fall Spectacular. All right. Big games. First 3 weeks, heck. Week 1, we got Clemson and Georgia. Week 2, you got Texas, Michigan. Week 3, Ohio State, Oregon. Okay? So, all involved teams in my top 8. Top 12. Right. So, yeah, I like those 12 teams, actually, to make it to the NCAA playoff. I really like Georgia. I think Texas will have their hands full in the maze out on the road. Ohio State paid a lot of money. Ryan Day hasn't really proved himself, and I think the test in Oregon, in Oregon, the Ducks are quack, quack, quack. So, yeah, it's all going to be shaken up. Georgia looks so good. Yeah, they do. They do. Georgia does. Ohio State looks good on paper, but Oregon, Texas, Michigan's got some unknowns, but a good defense. So, we'll go. It's a 12-team playoff. I'm sticking with my top 12, with 11 Missouri and 12 Clemson being able to come or go. Okay. FCS, we're in the big sky country. We're in the big sky. Yes, sir. We are in the big sky country, in the big sky conference, okay? And I don't see any changes in what we call the FCS. I really don't this year. Jeez. What, you got South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Montana State, South Dakota. I mean, there's your top 5 right there. You got Montana sitting on top of the big sky. Coaches poll, polls that are out have Grizzlies finishing 1 and 2 with the Bobcats again this year in the big sky. I like the Grizzlies' chance to go back to the championship game of the FCS. Which Dakota will be there, Andy? That's the question. Yeah, which Dakota? It's north or south? Yeah, it's almost like the movie Fargo. No, it's not. How the hell did you? Okay, so we got FCS, got college, NCAA. What do you mean we don't? We have South Dakota. We have the Grizzlies going to the championship game in the FCS. I'm picking them to play either South or North Dakota. Well, you pick your Dakota. Okay? Now, the NFL preseason is already started. Oh, yeah, Lions beat the Chiefs Saturday night, Saturday night. Watched it on my tablet. Yeah, nice game. Yeah, so, I just... Yeah, Lions, I like them. I like them this good, but we'll get on to that. I've never liked the fact that in professional football, 10-6 teams, hell, there's been teams under 500 that have gotten in the playoffs. But in college, you got to win to get in pretty much. 12-team playoffs may have changed all that, but you can't waltz in, I don't think, to the college playoff with 6 losses. No, I don't. So, but the NFL... well, let's break it down, shall we, Andy? What I got here? You got notes? I got notes. Okay. So, why don't we talk about AFC? It's easy. It's so easy. Talk about the AFC East. I like Miami. I know he's back. Quarterback for the Jets. I know he's back. But Buffalo, you got New England, all in the AFC East. But I like Miami in the East there. And what about the AFC North? Who do you like? No. Cincinnati. Joe Burrows is back. He'll go to the Super Bowl. If his thumb injury is right on, he'll go back to the Super Bowl. Ravens are a good contender, but and even though Pittsburgh lit up at Saturday night, I still don't like them. No. Cleveland lost. Yep. The AFC South, I like Houston. The Texans look strong again this year. Defense wins championships. I've always said that. Tennessee's pretty not into it. You know, everybody was saying, well, Tennessee's going to win. I don't even think they're going to be. They're not going to even. No. I like Houston, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and then Tennessee. No, I'm not a Tennessee hater. No, I just don't think that they can compete this year with the quality of Houston and Jacksonville Jaguars. So AFC West, absolutely Kansas City Chiefs. I don't see any change going on there in Kansas City at all. The Kelso, yeah. Chargers, Raiders, Denver, Harbaugh's first year, you're expecting way too much. Yeah, way too much. So, NFC, Andy, I'm glad you asked about the NFC. I wouldn't have gotten to that. I like Philadelphia in the NFC East. Everybody's talking about it's Dallas's year. I don't see it. You know, I don't see it at all. No, Dak, no, I don't see it. So I got Philadelphia, Dallas, the Washington. Isn't that where Mikey Sanderson went from Michigan? Washington Commanders. And the Giants bringing up the rear in the NFC North Division, which is personally my favorite. Go figure. Being from the Motor City, why would I be my favorite city? I got Detroit winning the division. I have Green Bay. Second, Chicago. I know Caleb Williams is having a good season. I know, but I don't think it's going to last. I think it's just, and I would have had Minnesota higher. Yeah, but losing J.J. McCarthy, #1 draft pick out of Michigan, quarterback to the ACL, yeah, that was hurt. Yeah, it hurts. Hurts so good. Don't you know it hurts so bad to tear the ACL? Yeah, it's not good. Not good losing JJ like that. Went to the fair this year and walked around, asked guy if he had a Lions jersey. He said, no, but I had like 3 J.J. McCarthys, and they all sold out. So I'm not sure if they sold out because it was J.J. from Michigan or if we're Vikings fans up here. And I don't know. Okay? Who? The NFC South? Atlanta, of course. Why wouldn't it be any Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and the Carolina Panthers? But yeah, I like Atlanta again there. The NFC West, everybody's like talking San Francisco again. You know, San Francisco again. San Francisco again. And I don't think that's the case. I think that the Rams have some pieces there. Got Blake Corum, looked good in preseason so far. Matthew, always. So I'm going to go out on a limb, say the Rams in the NFC West. Then the Niners. Not that they'll be out of the playoffs. Seattle and Arizona. That's, yep. That's about what I'm thinking, Andy. The Super, do you have a drum roll? I like the Super Bowl. I like the Detroit Lions and the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay? Obviously, this is a personally bold, prediction. It's I'm not only that, but I'm putting 2 teams in the Super Bowl who have never won it. Also, I'm kind of banking on one of these teams to make history this year. Okay? Now, assuming that Joe Burrows is 100% healthy from his thumb injury that I mentioned earlier, Cincinnati has a loaded roster, people. They went 9-8 last year without Joe Burrows. Okay, and with a healthy Joe Burrow. Oh yeah, I think he's the bomb. I always said that, Broadway Joe, wrong Joe, Coconut Joe, another Joe, Gunn. No, all right, Joe Burrow's thumb injury. Cincinnati's loaded. Good competition. Yeah. Good competition for Kansas City. The Lions, they returned their whole coaching staff. Everybody's back. They didn't have any key major losses. Okay, they helped their defense through the draft and through free agency. I don't see, Dan Campbell's got it working. He's got it working. He's working. It's a working town, blue collar town. Honolulu in blue and silver. So I like the Lions. I like the Lions and the Bengals in the Super Bowl. I like the Lions to win it. 27-20. You heard it here first. 27-20. I like the Lions in the Super Bowl. I like Burrows. Yep. I like that whole thing. I like Georgia. I like Glacier and the AA. I like the Grizzlies and one of the Dakotas and FCS, Georgia and NCAA, and Lions in the Super Bowl. Does that do it, Andy? We went bold, no bold, the usual suspects. Isn't it, though? It's the usual suspects. The only usual suspect that's not in there, I think, is Cincinnati and Detroit. Detroit showed that they had the moxie last year. Do they have Kansas City's number, kind of? They beat them in preseason. They beat them in regular season. I know. Who's afraid of Kansas City? Nobody from Detroit. So you got it here first. Enjoy the upcoming football season. What are we doing next week? We don't know. We got a couple topics, maybe. So Andy's giving me saying, hey, we've done enough football today. So what do? We're going to get out of here. Remember, everybody, spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop, don't support breeders, don't put more animals, don't support people that put more dogs into the dog population when thousands of dogs are euthanized daily. Okay? Rescue, volunteer. If you can't help, go and donate, okay? And hey, adopt a shelter pet today. Enjoy this Monday, August 19th. Andy, we're out of here. We are out of here. Until next week!